I tend to overthink things quite a lot because I guess I feel like there's a right answer, and like if I wait and study and wait for the right thing, then maybe that will make my life feel better. Maybe that would make me feel better. And I guess that comes from trying to have high standards and wanting to do something that fits perfectly and that works well. And then, life isn't like that. There's going to be prices for the things that we have. And I guess this kind of ideal is a way of um, allowing myself to not do anything. Like if I have to wait for the perfect answer, if I have to make sure that it's exactly right, if I have to wait to say the perfect thing, then I won't start. Because, then it gives me the excuse, oh, I don't have to do that now because I can wait for this kind of thing. Or, I think with the last video as well, I kind of realized like, oh, as nice as that was to kind of have that out and just record another video, it didn't really I'm not sure if it was really beneficial or had any merit to it because, it was just basically complaining about my situation in a way, which I guess kind of does suck, but, it can suck and I can allow it to keep sucking, or you can do something to try and make it change it in a way, I guess. And I don't think change is easy. I think that's part of it. Like it's gonna suck, but I definitely have realized that once I start taking consistent steps towards something, it does make me feel better. But then I get into these slumps where it's hard to be motivated to do anything. I'm not really eating at the moment. It's because I don't really feel hungry, and just thinking of cooking of something just is like the last kind of thing that I want to do, really. And I guess that's also a consequence of just feeling bad and just doing whatever I feel like, basically. And also environment as well. But I guess ways to get around that is to prep food. Like I was thinking, like I haven't been cooking my oats these past couple days, which I usually do. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing as much. I'm not spending as many calories, but still, that has a benefit. That has an effect on your mental health or whatever. So I could do overnight oats, which is a fix for that problem. I guess it's just kind of frustrating being an idealist and wanting to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning, a sense of belonging and real connection, because so much of life feels really shallow and really meaningless to do. And I guess the thing that scares me the most is doing things when it doesn't have any meaning. Like, so what if I put in so much time to do something and maybe I'll get better, maybe I won't? But what does that matter? Is that going to change my life situation? Because in the past, even when I've got better at things, sure, it was nice to get better at drawing, and I've been getting back into it this past week, and it was nice to see progress in that. But it hasn't really changed my life in much more of a way. Like, sure, I have another hobby that I can do and another activity that I can fill my time with, but I guess it doesn't change this feeling that I have to wait for this perfect answer, and I keep like jumping between things, which just, I guess, isn't great for progress because you're never really sinking into things deeply enough. But then if I'm rotating between the same things, then I guess it has a benefit. I seem to have a lot of different interests and a lot of them kind of butt heads. So that's why I feel like I want to have, just a couple things that I want to spend my time on, that make my life feel meaningful, that don't make me want to keep jumping around to other things. Like I had been getting into soccer before I broke my wrist, and I was enjoying that, but then I was starting to get a little bit sick of it in some ways, I guess, because I felt like it was an obligation and I wasn't playing with it anymore and I wasn't really progressing in it anymore. I was just kind of going to show up because that was a social obligation that I had. And then that was having a toll in other parts of my life where I just felt like, oh, I just want to play FIFA all the time, basically, because I feel like I'm having all these other obligations and I want to do something fun. So that's how I was getting like my fun. I guess as humans, we also kind of strive for meaning making. We like to look for meaning in the things that we do. We like to think that the things that we do are meaningful, and we make up stories to ourselves about why things are a certain way. And, maybe those stories are true and maybe they're not, but I think it's really important the, the stories that we do tell ourselves, whether we buy into them or not, because I've been buying into a lot of my bad stories for a lot of years, and it just has a negative kind of impact, I guess. But then also there's like the emotional experience of it where you have to walk this fine balance between the desires in yourself, the goals that you want to set, and the meaning that you want to create, but then also this emotional state that is trying to survive and that is used to more natural and easier ways of life, I guess. Because when you look at nature and you look at the way we live our society, it's such a massive difference. Like it has a rhythm, but it's never forced. It's reactive at times, but only when it needs to be reactive. And most of the time, it's quite slow and often sustainable and interlinked with other things. And I think that's caused a lot of problems for me in my life because being disconnected from things, makes me more objective about other things, and it creates a distance between myself, between other people, between actually doing things and like sitting in my room thinking about it, or having these ideas of things to do rather than acting. And that's not a substitute for actual experience. That's just kind of fake wisdom, which I guess is why I think that YouTube's kind of silly because, watching it, there's so much stuff out there that's just kind of terrible. That's just not even worth watching. I mean, like stuff like this, I'm not sure if it's even worth watching, if it has much of a benefit. But I do it for myself because I know that just talking about things, then reflecting and then looking back, it's like a digital diary in some way, but then also it's a way of reflecting in real time and holding myself accountable in some ways. Yeah, I've just been thinking like there's so many things that I want to do, but there's only so many things that I can do now that I have a broken wrist. And it's trying to work this fine balance of trying to take care of myself, but then not forcing myself to do too much, so then I burn out. I feel like I want to make like a promise or a statement, even though I don't feel like doing much, like, oh, I should commit to doing this or doing this project, and then maybe I should document it. But I don't know. I don't know. The main thing that I wanted to talk about this video that I just remembered was that we're always looking for things in the future when we're searching for answers. We're always looking to the future, thinking that when we get into this state, then we will have something that feels better, that gives us that sense of happiness or contentment in life. But then acting from that state is a constant chase. I mean, maybe it can get you out of certain situations and it can help you at the start, but if you're looking for real fulfillment, you can't find it looking for other things. You can't find it in anything else than the experience that you're having now and the experience that you're having now, basically. So I guess thank you for watching, and I'll probably see you in the next video.